Welcome back to another video. I'm your tech guide, Wayne. If you find this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button down below and also consider hitting the tip button to leave us a tip. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for notifications so you can be alerted every time we post new videos. In the video today, we're doing a full new user guide to this phone. We want to teach you everything from the basics to how to troubleshoot the phone to the advanced features, so you are a full expert on this phone after watching this video. So this is a compilation. So here is what you can expect from this video. So we're going to start with a beginner walkthrough for someone who is new to Samsung phones and just wants a walkthrough of the buttons and how to navigate the screen, downloading apps, the basics. If you don't need those basics, but you'd like to learn what's after that, you can jump to the next section of the video. It will be broken down into chapters. In the second section, I will go over tips and tricks and also some really cool hidden features. Then I'll go over how to take a screenshot, and then a really fun feature, I'll go over how to mirror your phone screen to your TV with a few different methods. After that, we'll go over how to soft reset your phone if you find the screen frozen and it's not responding to your touch. So kind of a brief how to troubleshoot the phone. And then finally, we'll end with a how to factory reset your phone. So that's what you can expect from this video. Those are going to be the different chapters. And also in the description below, you will find a link to our favorite accessories for this phone. For example, a longer charging cable, a car charger, a magnet for the car if you want to mount it to your dashboard, just a bunch of really cool things to complement this phone. So make sure you check out that list below. And without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's get started with a quick tour of the exterior buttons of the phone. So on the right side of the phone here, you will find the volume up, volume down, and the power button right here. Now, the power button is how you turn the phone on and off. Now, if you just tap the button when the phone is already on, it will put the phone asleep, but tapping it again will wake the phone up. So just a quick tap, again, just wakes the phone up, turns the phone off, but it's always still sleeping and still sort of awake. Okay, if you want to power the phone off completely, what you'll first need to do, so tap the power button, make sure you can see the screen, and just take your finger and you're going to drag it across the screen. And let me try it one more time. So put your finger on the screen and just drag it right across. And that's how you wake up the phone or you unlock the phone. Next, we'll need to swipe down from the top of the screen here and do a second swipe, so 2 times, and that will bring up this button here. This is your power button. So we'll tap there, and then we'll tap the power and power again, and that will actually turn off the phone. So important thing to know, holding the power button down is actually programmed to do something different. So this is the kind of automated way to turn off the phone. Now there is a way to change that, and I will go over that later on in the video. There's a way to reprogram the power button so that actually, I can go over that right now. As soon as the phone wakes up, I'll walk you through how to change that power button so that when you hold the power button, you can turn the phone off versus having to swipe down the screen. So I'll show you that. While the phone is restarting, I'm just going to continue my quick tour of just the outside of the phone. So volume up, volume down, and the power button right here. On the left side, you'll notice there are no buttons. At the top of the phone, you will find the SIM card tray right here. And for those of you that have a SIM card you're bringing over from an older phone, this is where you would put in that SIM card, just right there at the top. So you'll need to grab the box and find this little tool. This is called your SIM tool. And there's a little hole at the top that you can just put that in and push. And this will pop out your SIM tray just like this, just enough for you to then take it out, and then you can put in your micro SD card from an older phone, and then have all those new pictures show up on this phone. So just as a disclaimer, that's how you do it, but you will need this. If you can't find this in the box of your phone, just find a paper clip, bend it back and it will also allow you to open up the phone. At the bottom here, you will find the power cord or the charger, the charging port, excuse me. And this phone does use what's called a Type-C charger. So if you need to buy a replacement, look for a Type-C charger. In the description of the video, you'll find a link to our best accessories for this phone, and you'll find a replacement charging cable, longer charging cables, things like that. So definitely check that out if you're looking for more cables for it. It also does have a headphone jack on the left side there, so you can plug in your traditional headphones. So I just tapped the power button here to wake it up. I'm just gonna slide or do a swipe. That's how we unlock the phone. Now quickly, I'm gonna show you how do we change the menu so that holding the power button will actually turn the phone on and off for you. So you're just gonna swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe a second time. And swiping is just putting your finger on the screen and just dragging. That's whenever I say swipe, that's what I'm referring to. So tap on the power button at the very top, not this magnifying glass, but the second button right here. And when you tap on that button, at the very bottom, it'll say side key settings. Tap there, and we're just gonna change this to right here. It says press and hold to wake Bixby, which is the smart assistant. We're gonna change this to power menu. And now when we go back home, if I hold down the power button just like this, it'll take me right to this menu, which allows you to turn the phone off if you want to, or restart it. So that's a quick little tweak you can make to make it easier to turn the phone on and off. Now that we're done with our tour of the buttons on the outside and the SIM card tray, now we're going to move into how to navigate the home screen. So this is considered the home screen of the phone. At the bottom here, you'll find 3 buttons: recent apps, home, and the back button. I'm going to go over what each button does. The first thing is the home button. Very important. No matter what you open, tapping the home button takes you back to this screen, which is the home screen. Let's say I were to tap on the phone button because you wanted to make a phone call. I can, dial a number, tap the green button to make a call. And when I'm finished, I'm just gonna tap on this button in the middle, this little circle, and it will take me back to the home screen. No matter what I'm doing, it's always gonna take me back to the home screen when I tap on this button. Now, to the right here, we have what's called the back button. This is a button that takes you back one step. As an example, I'm gonna swipe down and tap on the settings wheel in the corner to get to the settings menu. So let's say I'm in the settings, and let's say I tap on the, let's say I tap on advanced features. And I'm reading this menu, and you know what? I don't find the thing that I'm looking for. No problem. I can tap on this little back button here, and it will take me back one screen, just like that. So that's all the back button does. It just takes you back one step. Now, right now we're on the main page of the menu. So if I tap the back button again, there's no other page for it to take me to. So it's just gonna take me out of that app. So I'm gonna tap it, and it's gonna take me back home. So it's just a quick shortcut to always help you move back one step. Now the last button here on the left, the recent apps button, this shows you any apps that you had open that are still running in the background. So if you notice, we opened the phone app, and then we opened the settings. Now we didn't actually close those apps. We just opened them, started doing something, and then we went back to the home screen, which is the screen we're on now. So if I tap the recent apps button, I'm gonna see those 2 apps show up, settings and the phone button, okay? So if I wanna actually close out these applications, I can do what's called just a swipe up, and that will close those applications. So just swipe up, and it will close those applications as well as any other applications that are still running in the background. Now let's say I want to go back to settings because I was working on something and I'm still working on that. Well, I'm going to tap the recent apps button, and guess what? Because I never closed it, it's still open. I can simply tap on it, and now I can easily get right back to that app and continue working on what I was doing. So that's one of the benefits of this button here, is it will always show you what's running in the background, and you have a quick way to get back to whatever you're working on just by tapping that button. Now, once I'm finished with this, I can always just swipe up to close it, or I can tap close all, and it will close this application as well as all the other applications that are running in the background. Now, one quick point I forgot to mention, whenever I refer to an app is short for application. Think of an application like a program on a computer. So computers have programs, phones have apps or applications. So whenever I say app, I'm just referring to these little icons here. These are the computer version of a program. They're just apps, which is short for applications. Okay, so now that we've gone over the buttons, the next thing I want to go over is what is called your notification panel. Now, if you take your finger and put it at the top of the screen and just swipe down, it'll bring up what is called the notification panel. So if ever one of your applications has a new message that has come through, it'll show up in this section. For example, let's say you sign into your Gmail, you would be able to see any of your new messages in this section. A new Gmail. If someone were to send you a text message, it would also show up in this section. If you had a missed call, you would just simply swipe down and go to this section, and it'll show you if someone has called you recently. So this is just where all the notifications for all the different things happening on the phone, this is where they all come through and how you check it easily. Let's say this was a call right here. If it was a missed call, I would just tap on it and it would take me right to the phone app, and I could see who called, and then I could call them back. So this is how you kind of interact with all the notifications that are coming through your phone. Now, at the top of the screen here, you have what are called switches. These are just shortcuts to different settings for your phone. And one of the most important shortcuts is right at the top here, which is your Wi-Fi shortcut. Let's say you have Wi-Fi at home and you'd like to connect to your wireless internet. You can turn that option on right here. Now I can tap the button, and once it lights up in blue, that's how I know it's on. And then it should bring up the menu for me to select any Wi-Fi networks that are available. Now, the menu didn't come up, which is no problem. So I'm gonna swipe down again. And this time I'm gonna hold down on that little Wi-Fi icon, which is the first one we see here. Just hold down. And it'll bring up a list of all the available Wi-Fi networks. So let's say you're at a friend's house and you'd like to connect to their wireless internet or their Wi-Fi. You would look for their network in this list. Let's say their Wi-Fi was this one here, My Spectrum. I would just tap on it, and then it's going to bring up this screen and ask me to type in the password for their Wi-Fi network. So you'd have to ask them, hey, what's your Wi-Fi password? And then they would give it to you. You type it in, hit connect, and then your phone can connect to their Wi-Fi. So that's how you easily connect to Wi-Fi on the phone. Now, that's just one switch you'll find at the top of the screen here. You'll find this next switch here, which controls the volume. So the way the volume currently looks, the icon, this means that my volume is turned up. If I want to put the phone on vibrate, I would simply tap on the little speaker right here, and now you'll see a little slash over the speaker, which means now your phone is on vibrate. Now, if I tap it again, now you notice it's not lit up at all, and that means that your phone is on silent. So your phone won't vibrate, or it won't make any noise when you receive a notification or a phone call. Now, if you want to turn it back on to regular sound, just tap it again. and now your sound is back on. So that's how you switch between vibrate, silent, and normal sound. And you'll find a few other cool options here. So Bluetooth, if you have a Bluetooth speaker at home or headphones and you want to connect to it to play music or take calls, you want to make sure this is lit up. And then if you wanted to connect to that Bluetooth device, just take your finger and hold down on that icon until this menu comes up, and then your phone will begin to search for any available Bluetooth devices it can connect to. So you'll need to then take your Bluetooth device and put it in the pairing mode, and that will vary based on the device, but in the settings or in the manual of that device, look for something that says pairing mode and make sure your other device is in the pairing mode first, and you should see it show up in this list, and then you can tap on it to connect to it. You might need to come up to the top here and tap on scan, and that just tells the phone, hey, start looking for new Bluetooth devices because you're trying to connect to one. Okay, and just a few more things. You've got your screen rotation. This rotates the phone when you turn it sideways. This is your airplane mode for when you fly. It turns off all your cellular connections, which they ask you to do when planes take off. And then here you have your flashlight. When you tap that, you have a flashlight that will allow you to use your camera flash as a light. Now, one cool thing to note is swiping down one time brings up the 6, but when I swipe again a second time, you'll notice we have more options available. So mobile hotspot, we have our power saving mode, our GPS if we want to turn on our device GPS settings, screen recording, smart view if you want to connect your phone to your TV, and a QR code scanner right here as well. Do not disturb, dark mode, all these other cool settings you can take advantage of as well. So those are just a few other switches you can get to. They're just shortcuts to, again, things you'd find in the settings. Now, I also want to point this out. When you swipe down that second time, you now have access to your brightness for the phone. So if the phone is too bright, you can simply turn it down using the little slider at the bottom here. Or you can say, it's not bright enough, I want it brighter. So then we can slide it the other way to make the screen brighter, just like that. So that is your notification panel. And that's where you'll find, again, your notifications and shortcuts to different settings you may need to control. Okay, moving on to our next section, I'm now going to go over applications. So where do you find them? How do you download them? And what is that process? So the first thing is, you'll notice on this home screen, you have a few icons or a few applications. If you swipe over, you might have a few more here, but these are not all the applications on the phone. If you want to find the rest of the applications, you'll simply need to, from the home screen, swipe up, and it will take you to what is called the app drawer. And this is where you'll find all of the other applications that are on the phone. They're all in this section. So this page and on this page. So that's where you see everything that's on the phone. And you'll notice at the top here, you have a couple of folders. This is a folder with Google applications, a folder with Microsoft applications, and a folder with Samsung applications. So next I'm going to go over how do you download an application or a game on the phone. Well, you'll need to look for this icon, which is called the Play Store. The Play Store is your basically one-stop shop to download things for your phone. So applications, games, there's so many different things you can download for your phone. I'm going to quickly pause. I'm going to go back to talking about that in a second. I first want to go over how do you sign into the Play Store. So you will need a Google account or a Gmail account, which is basically the same thing. And you'll need to sign into it because every time you download an app, it saves it under your Google account, which makes it easier to download those apps once you get a new phone. It just saves them all under the same account. So you do need to sign into your Gmail first before you do anything else. Now, we can kill two birds with one stone here. If you currently have a Gmail account, we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna go home, tap the home button here. We're gonna swipe up, and in the Google folder, just tap on this folder that says Google and go to Gmail. So I'm gonna help you sign into your Gmail account so you can see all your Gmails. And once we sign into that, it's gonna automatically unlock the Play Store, or basically sign us into it so we can then download applications. So I'm gonna hit, got it here, and it says add an email address. I'm gonna tap here to do that. And I'm gonna tap on Google. And this part usually just takes a second. If your phone already has data service or you're connected to Wi-Fi, then you should be able to do this. However, if you're not connected to Wi-Fi or your phone's data service, then it won't allow you to sign in. So make sure you're connected to a network. I'm gonna tap in this box that says email or phone. And then I'm gonna type in my email address and my password. Now, if you don't have a Google account or a Gmail account, this is where you'll need to tap create account, and that will allow you to set up a free Gmail account. And it'll just ask you for some basic information, first name, last name, and what you want your Gmail account to be. So it's a super easy process, it's very quick, and it just starts with tapping create account. I'm gonna quickly enter my information, and then we'll jump to the next screen and start talking about how to download applications. Okay, so I've just entered my Gmail account and password, and this is the next screen that it's taking me to, which says turn on your backup and sync. So you can turn this on and it will begin to sync everything on your device, such as contacts. So in the event you lose your phone, all those contacts saved will be saved to the cloud, and it just makes it easier for you to recover these contacts when you sign into a new phone. So I am going to tap turn on backup and sync. I'm going to tap I agree to the terms and conditions, and after that it'll ask you a few more questions about backing up to Google Drive. We're going to hit accept. And then after a few seconds, you'll see your email address pop up here and hit take me to Gmail. And we're good. We're officially signed in. This is where you'll find all of your Gmails, and you can, start looking at emails, reading and responding. Now, one other important note, you can add other Google accounts, or you can add other email accounts to this application. So if I tap on the menu here in the upper left corner, next, you're going to just swipe up and tap on settings and tap add account. And this will take you back to this screen, and it will allow you to add your other email accounts. So if you have an Outlook, Hotmail, Yahoo, or any other email accounts, you can add them selecting one of these options here. And then in your Google account, you can toggle back and forth between those different accounts by simply in the upper right corner tapping on this little circle. By tapping it, you'll see all the email accounts will show up underneath here, and you can just tap on another one on the list to jump to a different email account. So I'm going to tap our home button to go back to the home screen, and now we're going to go to the Play Store again, and you'll notice we are signed in and now able to download applications. So again, everything is tied to your Gmail or Google account, and once you get signed in, it unlocks more things on your phone. So you'll find so many different applications and games in here. I just want to point out a few things. At the bottom of the screen, you'll find games, and you're in the game section. If you just want to browse and see what games are available, you can simply swipe through just like that. You can tap on apps. These are other things like Netflix, Hulu, social media apps like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. You find that in this section. Movies and TV, you can go through and you can buy movies or TV shows to watch on your phone, and you can buy books as well. So those are the different sections. Now, although they have those separated into sections, by just doing a quick swipe down, you'll have a search box at the top of the screen here, and this will allow you to search through apps and games. So let's say there's a specific game you're looking for your phone. You want to download a crossword puzzle game. This is the easiest way to search. I can either tap in the box at the top of the screen here, or, and type it. I can type in crossword, and it will begin to make recommendations. Or I can tap on the microphone in the upper right corner, and I can just say crossword puzzle. Crossword puzzle. And this is using the voice to text feature. So tapping the microphone will allow you to talk, and then it will just type out what you said. And so here, there's a few different crossword puzzle games. I like this one here, so I'm going to tap on it. Now, one thing you'll notice, there's always going to be a big green button, and it'll either say install, or it'll say, it'll have a price there. If it says install, that means that the application is free. If there's a price there, it means that that's how much it costs to buy that game or application. So be aware of that. If you're not looking to purchase a game and it shows a price, then you'll need to hit your back button to go out of that and try to look for another application that's free. Let's try it again here. I'm going to tap on it. And if I like this one, now one way to know if you're going to like it here is tap on the pictures under the green button. So just tap here. You can swipe through and see what the application looks like, or the game, and see if it looks appealing to you. I'm going to hit the back button here, and let's say I say, hey, I like this, I'm going to download it. Tap on this big green button that says install, and it will begin to download that application on the phone. And you'll notice while it's downloading, here you'll see other suggested apps that you might like based on what we're downloading here, like a Scrabble app here or Solitaire. I can tap on here and say, oh, this Solitaire game looks nice. I can tap install, and now I'd be downloading that too. Now I'm going to hit the back button to go back one step, and you'll notice we don't see our green install button here anymore. Now it says play, and that tells us that the application is ready for us to play it. Now we're not going to play it from here. I'm actually going to go home, so tap the home button at the bottom. I'm going to swipe up to get to my app section and swipe over one screen, and this is where you can see where the shortcut is for that application. So I like to show people how to get to it here, because once you open your phone and you say, hey, I want to play that game I just downloaded, how do I find it? Well, simple, swipe up, and there it is. It should be on this screen or this screen, one of the two. And I can just tap crosswords here, tap I accept, and then I'm going to be right into the game and be able to start playing it. So it's just that easy to download an application or game, find it, and begin to use it. Going to tap the home button here. So that was the process for downloading applications and just the kind of information behind it you would need to get started. Now, the next thing I want to go over is how to make a call and how to send a text message. So the bottom of the screen here, this little green button with a phone on it, this is your phone. And you'll have three options here: keypad, recent apps, and contacts. Now I'm going to tap on keypad, and this is how you easily dial a number. Obviously put in the zip code, 323-853-1212, and tap the green button to start the call. And I don't have a SIM card in the phone right now, so it's not going to let me make calls, but that's the whole process to make a phone call. Literally green button, make sure you're on the keypad, type in the number, and then hit this green button here to make the call. And then it'll begin to ring, and then if they pick up, great. If not, they won't. You'll see a red button on the side here, which is the button you tap when you're ready to end the call. Tap the red button, the call will be over. Super easy. And then when someone calls you, you're gonna see a green button and a red button, and it's the same thing. You tap the green button, or actually, I take that back. It looks a little bit different now. You might see, depending on when you see this video, the process does change from time to time. On some versions of this phone, you'll see a green button and a red button, and you either tap the green button to answer the call or tap the red button to decline it, which is to say I don't want to answer, or you'll see a button in the center of the phone that you'll swipe up to answer and swipe down to decline. I want to say the way you'll see it is the green button on the left and red on the right. So when someone calls you and you see those two buttons, green means go, answer, red means decline, don't answer, and that's it. Now let's go over how to send a text message. We're going to tap on this little blue icon here at the bottom right next to the phone. This is your text messaging app. And we're going to tap on this blue circle at the bottom right corner to start a new text message. So I'm going to first type in the phone number that I want to text. There we go. And then I'm going to hit the next button at the bottom here on the keyboard. It'll bring me right to this box that says enter message, and I begin to type what I want to send. Hi, how are you? And then hit this circle button here to send the message. Now, one important thing I want to add is if you like to send someone a picture or something additional, you can tap on this little arrow in the left side right next to the message, this top arrow. It'll bring up the menu and allow you to send a picture. So this first square is you sending a picture that's already saved to your phone. And to the right of it is a camera. If you tap on the camera, it'll allow you to take a picture or record a video first and then attach it to the text message and send it. So I'm going to tap on take picture. It's going to bring up the camera, and I'm going to take this quick picture. If you notice, there was a little white circle. I just tapped on the white circle to take the picture. And now I'm going to press OK. And it's going to add our picture to the message. So there's our picture. There's the message we typed. And then we're going to tap on this little circle to send the message. So that is how you send a text message, and also how you add a picture to it as well. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is how to set up the fingerprint scanner so you can unlock the phone using your finger. We're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, and in the upper right corner, tap on this little settings wheel. I'm going to swipe up until you see biometrics and security, and then tap on fingerprints. Now you can program one of two things. You can either program what is called the facial recognition or the fingerprint sensor, or both. The facial recognition is really cool. You can bring the phone up to your face, and it will unlock the phone once it verifies it's you. Or you can use the fingerprint sensor, which I kind of prefer in this case. You take your finger and you just tap the screen on a certain spot, and it will unlock the phone using your fingerprint. So for the sake of this, I'm going to show you how to do the fingerprint sensor, but if you'd like to set up the facial recognition later, go back to this section and just tap on facial recognition. Let's move forward with fingerprints. Tap continue. So whenever you set up a fingerprint sensor on the phone, you do need to set a backup password, and that's in the event the fingerprint sensor stops working, you have another method to unlock the phone. So I'm going to tap on pattern and just set a security pattern that is a backup in the event that my fingerprint sensor is not working. I'm just going to make mine an L to make it simple. It'll ask you to put it in twice, confirm it, And now it's going to start learning my fingerprint so I can use it to unlock the phone. So I'm going to move the phone up here. This is the fingerprint sensor. It's in the screen. So you're going to take your finger and just press and follow the instructions you see on the screen. So it'll ask you to adjust, move your finger around the button in different ways so it can learn it. Make sure I'm covering the whole sensor. And this process is usually pretty quick. It won't take more than a minute usually, but again, it has to get a good read on your finger. So just be patient with it. Just keep lifting and then placing it back down in slightly different positions so that it can learn your fingerprint. We're almost there now. I think I've probably been lifting my finger a little bit too fast, so put it down and keep it there. And now we're almost done. Okay, we're getting to the end here. And there we go. So you do have the option to add another fingerprint. And I usually like to do my pointer finger and my thumb. And I usually will do one finger on my left hand as well. I'm right-handed, but I'll do one finger on the left side just in case I grab the phone with my other hand. I still can unlock it with my finger. But in this case, I'm just going to stop it after programming this one fingerprint. Hit done. And we're all set. So now I'm going to lock the phone or put it to sleep by hitting the power button. Tap it again. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll see this icon. This is your fingerprint icon. And this is how you'll unlock the phone. You take your finger, place it right on there, and voila, you've unlocked the phone. So this makes the phone a bit more secure because no one can just pick up your phone and start using it. It will require your fingerprint or that backup pattern that we set. So that's how you set up the fingerprint sensor so you have that extra security and you can unlock your phone really easy. Let's go ahead and start with one of my favorite hidden features, which is how to run two apps at one time. So we're gonna essentially have an app at the top and an app at the bottom on the same screen running at the same time. And here's how you do that. First, you'll need to choose what two apps you want to run. In this case, I want to have YouTube as one of the apps. And for the other app, I want it to be Google Chrome so I can search the web while I'm watching a YouTube video. So the first thing you'll need to do is open up the first app, the one you want to be at the top, hit the home button, and then we're going to go to the second app, which is going to be Google Chrome right here, and then I'm going to go home. Next, you're going to hit the menu button, or excuse me, the recent apps button in the bottom left corner right here. And I'm going to swipe over to YouTube because I want that to be at the top. I'm going to tap on this little icon here and then tap open in split view. That's going to put YouTube at the top of the screen and then allow me to select a second app to be at the bottom. So in this case, I'm going to select Google Chrome. And now I can select this video to play. Let's turn the volume down. And I can tap the video and tap this little square in the corner to make sure it's full screen. And I can watch this video while I am browsing the web at the bottom here. So I can go to any website here I want and just start searching, and I can watch my video. The cool thing too is you can take your phone and you can rotate it sideways like this, which is also the landscape position, and I can watch the video here while I'm swiping through the AOL website right here. So this is a really cool way to just maximize on your screen and have two things going at the same time. Now when you're finished, you can tap on the three dots in the middle here. You'll see there's three dots right here. Just put your finger there and drag the screen to the right, and that will take you out of the split screen and back into full view. So that's essentially how you do split screen. Now, a couple important things to note are not all apps will work with split view. There's only maybe a little over half of the apps will work, but you will run into some where when you hit the recent apps button and you try to tap on the top icon, it won't say open in split screen view. And if you don't see that, it means that that app is not compatible. So that's just one important thing to note. Now, I'm going to move on to our next tip here. And if you notice, our video is still playing at the bottom here, now in a pop-up screen. And this is called pop-up view, which is allowing you to play a video, or it'll work with other apps as well, but you can have it pop out on the screen and you can move it to different sections of the screen while you continue to use the phone. So I want to just show you how we got here. So for YouTube, it works a little special. For YouTube, as long as the video is playing, so I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to hit the home button here. As long as the video is playing and I hit the home button, it'll go right to this little pop-out screen. However, if the video is not playing and I hit the home button, it's not going to go in the pop-out view. So that's one important thing to note. YouTube kind of works special in this case. But let's say you wanted to do this with Google Chrome, for example. I can open up Chrome first, then hit the recent apps button at the bottom right here. Go over to Chrome, tap on the icon, and then tap open in pop-up view. And now it'll put the Chrome app on the screen, and I can move it by touching this little blue bar at the top of the screen. Just put your finger on it and drag it, and I can move it up or down. But this will always stay on the screen. I can still do other things while that's on the screen. You can also touch the edges of the box here, and you can drag it to make it bigger or smaller. So this is just another way to do multitasking aside from the split view. In this view, I could have 3 different apps on the screen at one time. It just depends on what you're looking at and can you see what you need to see in that little small view. So that is called pop-out view. And again, most apps will work with it, but not all apps. Just important thing to know. When you're finished, you can tap on the little blue bar here and hit the X, and that will remove the app from being popped out on the screen. So those are cool, 2 cool hidden features we're starting the video with. The next one is a simple one, and it's going to be how to keep your screen on longer. And to do this, we're going to swipe down from the top of the screen and tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner. From here, we're going to go to display, swipe up, and go to screen timeout. Now, out of your box, your phone is going to be set to either 15 seconds or 30 seconds, which means that if you don't touch the screen within 15 seconds, it's going to begin to go dim, and then it's going to put the phone to sleep. I usually encourage putting the phone on 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, so you don't have to touch the phone so much to keep the screen on. Especially works well when you're reading. With videos the screen will stay on as long as the video is playing, but for a site that doesn't have a video, after 2 minutes of it not being touched, it will go off. So important thing to note there. Now our next tip, we're going to go over some tweaks for what is called the always on display. The always on display is a clock that will show up on your phone when it is asleep. Let me show you some cool things on how this works, some changes you should make, and how to customize it as well. So we're going to stay in the settings menu because all the changes need to happen here. We're going to go back to, actually we're going to go down to lock screen, and then we're going to go to always on display. And I tapped the wrong thing. Always on display. So let me show you first how this works out of the box. Out of the box, if your screen is off, you're not going to see the clock unless you tap the screen. And I think it's 1 tap. There you go. 1 tap will show the always on display. I don't particularly care for that because I want to see the clock all the time. I don't want to have to tap the screen to turn it on. See? Gotta tap it to get it to come on. Now, there's a small tweak that we can make, that will make it so every time the phone goes to sleep, it'll automatically come on. You're gonna tap here where it says always on display and change it from tap to show always. You can also schedule it. Now the time you would use the schedule is, you might say, I want this to always show unless it's after 10 p.m. and then I don't want my clock to be lit up when I'm asleep. You might do that. That's one option. So watch this, but I'm just gonna show you, this is the main option that I recommend, which is the show always. Once I put the phone to sleep, the clock is gonna automatically show up like that. And if your phone is on the table, you'll always be able to glance over it and see what time it is. That's why I like it so much. So this is the always on display. Now I'm going to show you how do we customize it to make it look different or cool, or just spice it up. So we're going to tap clock style, and here's where you have a menu of lots of different clock types and colors, and you can really customize it to how you like. And I'll just show you, I normally like to do mine like this, the stack view, and then I'll find a color scheme that I like. You can also switch to the gallery view here, and you can make your always on display a GIF image. So you could make it this bike, for example, and have your clock at the top. And there's a huge list of just options. It shows you a couple, but you can even download more in the Samsung theme store, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So I'm going to hit done. Put the phone to sleep. And now this is our new always on display. So it'll have that cool design showing with the time and the date. So that is the always on display, and kind of some recommendations I have for you to customize it and make it work better for you, and give you a fun new look to your phone. For our next tip, we're going to go over a unique feature that you really only find on the higher end Samsung phones such as this, and the even S series phones, which is called the App Edge. On the right side of the phone, you'll see this little faint clear line, and when you swipe over on that line, it brings up what is called your App Edge. Now this is really cool because you can set certain apps as a shortcut so you can get to them easier. So for example, for those of you that use Snapchat a lot or TikTok, you can make it so you unlock your phone and you just swipe over, and you can have that app right here to get to it faster. In this case, we have YouTube, so I can just tap on YouTube and then boom, it's going to take me right there. Now, one cool thing as well is that at the top here, the first two, it'll show your recent apps. So if there's apps that you've used in the last, the last two apps you've opened will always show up here. And then if you want to add your own apps to this menu, you tap on the pencil at the bottom. And here, I can say, hey, you know what? I don't want this here. I'm gonna hit the little red dash here, get rid of that. I don't really care about Chrome. I want my messages, I want YouTube. So now you might say, I really want my Gmail to be there. Hold down on Gmail, drag it over, there it is. Next, you might say, oh, I'd really love to have my Google Maps because I drive a lot and I just want to be able to get to my maps easy. Drag that over. You might say the Play Store because I'm always looking up new apps and I want to get to that easy. As you keep adding, it'll make space for more. And then you might say, oh, and my Spotify because I love listening to music. I want to get to that easy. So there we have it. There's our 6 new shortcuts. And if you tap on the menu at the top here, the 3 dots, you can get rid of the first 2 here and give yourself more space. So the first 2 again are going to be whatever the last apps that you went to. It'll always have the recent apps here. You can turn this off, and then you'll have more space to just add the specific apps that you want. It's up to you. If not, you can just turn it back on, just like that. Okay. So this is called your App Edge, just like that. Quick shortcut to your favorite apps. Now, there is another cool feature I want to show you, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to want to use this after I show you this. So This is the app edge. There's also something called the people edge, where you can have specific contacts show up in this list to make it easier for you to call or text them, which is very, very convenient. No more fumbling through, go to the phone, try to remember their number, try to type in their name. It'll just show up right in this section. I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. We're gonna tap on the settings wheel right here. This will take us to our panels, and you can see there are a lot of other edge panels you can use aside from just the app edge, but by default, the app edge is always set to be there. So what we're gonna do is tap on people, and now we'll have two edges, app edge and people edge. And now I'm gonna hit the home button. I'm gonna swipe over. I'm gonna see my apps, but now I can swipe over again, and now I have what is called the people edge. You're gonna need to tap allow the first time and allow it to access your contacts. And here you can see these are some of the people that I call the most, and they're gonna show up in my app edge here. And all I have to do is just tap on the icon, and when you tap it, I can call the person or I can initiate a text message just by tapping one of those two buttons there. So that is called the people edge, and it's super convenient because now you have your most important apps right there and your most important contacts one swipe over to make it easy for you to make those calls and send those texts. So that is our next tip. We're gonna move on to our next one, which is how to hide apps. Let's say you have an app that you don't want people to have access to if they had your phone. I'm gonna show you how to hide that right now. We're gonna hold down the home screen. We're gonna tap on settings. We're gonna go to hide apps. And here, it's really simple. We're gonna just check the box next to apps that you want to be hidden. So in this case, let's hide our, what's a good app to hide? I don't have any really fun apps to hide. But we can hide our Duo, and we can hide our LinkedIn. Hit done. Now, when you go home and you swipe up, you'll notice those apps are not going to be in your settings. Nowhere to be found. Okay? They are hidden. And when you want to unhide them, it's really easy. Same process. Hold down the home screen, go to settings, tap on hide apps, and then you're going to see a little red dash next to each one. Just tap the dash to remove them from the list. Hit done. Come home, and there's our Duo, there's our LinkedIn. So that's a really easy way to hide apps that you don't want people to have access to. It is a tedious process, but either way, it'll solve the objective you have, which is just trying to make sure those apps are not accessible to other people. Okay, moving on to our next tip, we're gonna show you this really cool feature that helps you launch your camera from any screen on the phone. So let's say my phone is off, and all of a sudden I see a bald eagle fly over me, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get a video of that. Well, all you need to do is tap your power button 2 times. It'll automatically wake up your phone, bypass the lock screen, and take you right to the camera so you can take that picture. This is called the quick launch camera feature. Now I can also use this if I'm in another app. Let's say I'm on a phone call, talking to someone, same thing, I want to get to my camera quickly, hit the power button 2 times, it'll automatically take me to the camera. And that's called the quick launch camera feature. Now, I love this feature, I use it a lot, but some of you might say, oh, that's cool, Wayne, but I don't really use my camera very often. I wish I could make that button do something else. And guess what? You can. Let me show you. So, swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, tap on the power button right here, the second button. And at the bottom, you're gonna tap side key settings. Now right now it's optimized for double tap or double press to launch the camera, but we can change that to open an app. So hit open app, And now I can go through my list here and say, you know what? I would much rather that double tap take me to my calendar. No problem. Tap on that, go home, and now you're holding your phone, you need to check an important appointment, double tap the power button, and it will automatically launch your camera for you. So that is how you do what's called remap. You're remapping the button to do something else. And you can set that app to launch just about anything. So really convenient. Again, if you're not a camera person, you know, get that feature working for you, you know, in a way that would benefit you more. So that's why I love to show that one. For our next tip, we're going to show you how to customize your phone and really take your phone to the next level using what's called the Samsung Theme Store. Now, if you hold down the home screen and you go to Themes, this is where you'll find a whole store of things you can use to customize your phone. So everything from themes, wallpapers, icons, just want to change what your little app icons look like. Always on display clocks, you can have all these more advanced styles. You got a whole selection in here to really customize your phone. I want to show you this cool tip. Now, for wallpapers, for example, there are quite a few free and quite a few paid. So if you want to get right to the free wallpapers first to see if there's any free ones you like before you pay for one, just simply go from featured to top, go to all, and change it to free. Now this will filter out all the paid wallpapers and let you go through and see which ones you actually like. I definitely like that one. I would totally download that one. So if you find one you like, hit download, and then it will download it to your phone, and then you can change your settings. You will need to set up a Samsung account to download anything from the store, and that is a free account that just gives you access to more of Samsung's services. So we have not signed in on this phone, but it's as easy as just an email address and a password. That's it. So that's a wallpaper there, and I want to show you really quickly the themes, because this is what I'm usually most excited about. So with a theme, it doesn't just change the wallpaper, it changes a whole lot of other things as well. Let's say I select this theme right here. I encourage you to look through the screenshots, because they always have great screenshots so you can see exactly what your phone is going to look like. So different wallpaper, different app icons. This is going to be the lock screen. This is what the dialer looks like, your text message chain, and your notification panel. So everything is gonna have a different color and theme. And so go through and find one that resonates well with you. That is the theme store, and that is how you take your phone customization to the next level. Now, moving on to our next feature. This is one of my favorite things, and most people they don't know they can do this on their phone. So I'm gonna wow you today with a cool feature. There's two features they're gonna have to do with the camera. The first one is taking a sheet of paper and turning it into a PDF. We oftentimes have things that we need to scan in, and so this is gonna make it a lot easier for you to do that. So I'm gonna go to the camera, and basically you need to try to get over the piece of paper. You need to, this might be hard to do on camera here. You can kind of see it. This is what the view is going to look like. So I have the sheet of paper set up, and forgive me for this not being as clean as it could be, but the piece of paper is in view. When the phone notices that it's a piece of paper, it's going to bring up this yellow box, and you just tap on where it says tap to scan. It'll then take that sheet of paper and it will make a perfect page out of it, so you can flatten it and try to make it look like it was scanned. In this case, like, you really want the piece of paper to be flat and do it from the top, but for the sake of the video and the camera angle, this was the best I could do, so forgive me. But normally you can adjust the edges as well if you need to make it more close to the dimensions. When you're done, you just hit save, and it's going to crop it into a perfect sheet of paper, just like that. So this is one of the features. This is what I call just converting a piece of paper into a PDF, or scanning it into your phone in a very clean way. Now here's the other thing, and this is what I really love here. I'm gonna go, I don't have the Instagram app on the phone now, but have you ever been on an Instagram page and you wish you could like take the text off the page? Maybe someone has put something really cool in their description or whatever. Well, basically with this next feature, you can take any amount of text. Let me just do yahoo.com just for the sake of this. I should have signed into my Instagram, but no biggie. Let's say this page here, let's swipe up and just find something random. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is our goal is to extract all the text, copy the text off this page. So you're gonna hold the volume down and power button. 1 second, that's gonna take a screenshot. Now, we're gonna go to our gallery right here. We're gonna find that screenshot that we just took right here. Now in the upper right corner, you'll see these two options. The option to the right is a little eye. Tap on the eye. Now one important thing to note is that you will need to, like when the first time you try to do this, it's gonna ask you to update your Bixby Vision. So do all those updates first, and then it'll take you to this view here. The second thing is at the bottom, there's a few different options here. So it'll scan the picture and look for different things. So at the bottom, you should see a little T. If you don't, just put your finger right next to the T and just swipe over, and you'll see there's different options you can select, but make sure you are on the T. When you're on the T, it's gonna extract all the text off the page, and I can simply then hold down on the text and I can copy all this text here. See that? There we go. So I've selected all of it or highlighted it. Now I can hit copy. You can even translate it if you want into a different language. There's a few things you can do, but I'm just gonna hit copy. And then I'm gonna come down to this Google box here, and I'm gonna hold down, and then I'm gonna paste it. So there's that. Or I can go to like my Samsung Notes, and I can paste it into a note app. But essentially the main point is being able to extract text from any web page, any site, and pasting it into the location of your choice. So in this case, I'm going to paste it into this note here. Hold down, paste, and that's all the text that I just copied off of that website. So really cool feature. It starts with a screenshot and then just simply going to the photo in gallery, tapping that little eye in the upper right corner, and then just highlighting the text you want and copying it. So there it is. And for our last tip, swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, swipe to your left, or actually stay on this screen. I want to just show you, you do have a built-in screen recorder right here. So if you ever wanted to record something that is happening on your phone, maybe you're showing someone how to download something, or you're watching a video clip and you want to record a little section of it, you can tap screen recorder, select the resolution if you want sound, no sound, and then it'll begin to record what's happening on your phone. So let's try it again. Screen record, hit while using this app, start recording. And let's say you wanted to show someone, you know, who was new to these phones how to download an app. And you went to the Play Store, and you said, hey, Uber, and you searched it. Boom. You'll notice at the top of the screen you have these three controls here. You can pause the video or stop it, but when you're finished, hit stop, and it will save the video, and then we'll just go to our gallery. And you'll see we have our video right here that we just took of showing how to download an app. Super easy. Basically, you'll need to hold down on the power and volume down button at the same time. Let's try it right now. You're only gonna hold it for 1 second and then let it go. Let's count to 3 and do it. 1, 2, 3, hold, let it go. It'll take a little flash. You'll tap allow the first time and then hit the crop button once you see that menu. And this will allow you to then change the size of the area that you want your screenshot to showcase. You can also write on the picture as well by tapping the little pen. So I could write, you know, anything. And then I can just hit this little down arrow to save it, or I can hit this button to share the picture with someone. I'm gonna download it, and then I'm gonna swipe up and go to the gallery. Here, you can find your screenshot after you take it. So here it is, that's the picture you just took. Now I'm gonna demonstrate a few different methods because a lot of people have different devices. So I'm gonna try to show multiple methods depending on what devices you have. So hopefully I can touch most of the people that are out there. I'm gonna show 2 different forms of mirroring. So the first method is gonna be if you're trying to demonstrate or show exactly what's happening on your screen exactly as you're doing it, a direct mirror. I'm gonna show that first. And secondly, I'm gonna show you how to just send a video from your phone to the TV. So if you're trying to watch a Netflix video or Hulu or YouTube, you can use that second method to just send the video to the TV and still use your phone to do other things. This video is sponsored in part by GrooveMade.com. I recently gave my office a modern makeover with the help of GrooveMade.com. Their sleek and stylish products have given my office a new, fun vibe, and you can find inspiration and a great selection of products to give your office a new groove and new vibe today. Check out the link to their site in the description of the video. Let's jump right in. I'm gonna show it first, and then after I'm gonna explain how to do it. So let's do that. The first thing you'll need to do is, let's slide our phone over to the left here so you can see the screen. So in the first method, I'm going to mirror the phone to a Roku. So what you'll need to do is make sure your phone and your Roku are both on the same Wi-Fi network. And then you'll just simply swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, swipe to your left, and you'll have an option here called Smart View. We're going to tap on Smart View, and I'll see the Roku pop up on the list. My Roku is named Office. So I'm going to tap on Office, Start Now. And then what you should see is a prompt show up on the TV asking if it can accept the screen mirroring, and there it is right there. Just take your Roku remote and go over to Always Allow and press OK. And then now, after a few seconds, you'll see the screen is going to be mirrored to the TV. So now everything you do on your screen is going to show up on the TV. Now this is asking about changing the aspect ratio. Just hit change, and it will kind of shrink the screen down just a bit. If you don't like this, you can always change it by tapping on the Smart View icon and tapping on phone aspect ratio and going back to full screen like this. But now everything I do on the screen is going to show up on the TV. I can open up any app. I can rotate the phone sideways as well. Obviously, there it is. So anything you do on the phone will show up on the TV the same way. This is great for showing gameplay or doing demonstrations, teaching someone how to use an app or a feature on the phone. Or if you have videos on the phone from a trip, all those are great options. So this is the first method of how to mirror your screen. When you're finished and you want to stop it from mirroring, you will need to tap on the little Smart View icon here and then tap disconnect. Now, if you have a Samsung Smart TV as well, you will need to have that Samsung Smart TV also connected to Wi-Fi, and you can use this same method to mirror. So this method will work for Roku, and for Samsung smart TVs and some other smart TVs. It just depends. Now on the list, when I originally set it up, it did show LG, so that leads me to believe that this will work for multiple smart TVs. So that's the first method. Now the second method is for those of you that have a Google Chromecast. Now for that, you will need to download the Google Home app. So you would just go to the Play Store, do a search, just type in Home and look for the Google Home app and download this app on your phone. And with this app, it will allow you to also mirror exactly what is on your screen to the TV. So on the phone, we're just going to walk through the setup really quickly. Get started, press OK, hit next. I don't allow it to access location, that's just me. Now at the bottom of the screen here, you will see you'll have to swipe down. So this is the main screen here, and I'm just going to swipe up. Now I've named my Roku Attic TV. So right here, I just swipe down to other cast devices, Attic TV. I'm going to tap on that. And then at the bottom of the screen, I'll have an option that says cast my screen. Tap there, tap cast screen, and start recording or start casting. And now same thing, everything I do on the phone will show up on the TV. So you've got two different options here for trying to mirror your screen based on the type of device that you have. Now, if you want to stop this option from casting, swipe down from the top of the screen. You'll have an option that says casting screen, and you can just tap on it. Actually do this, swipe down. There's a little arrow on the right side of the screen. Tap on this little arrow and then tap disconnect. That will stop your phone from mirroring the screen to the TV. Now, those are the two different ways to mirror your screen and everything on your screen to the TV. Now, the second method, I'm going to show you how to just mirror a video or just send a video from your phone to the TV. For this method, we're going to go to YouTube, and we're just going to open a YouTube video, and let's do this video here. Let's tap on it. We've got a commercial here that should be over in a few seconds. Okay, so we'll pause it here. So what you'll need to do if you just wanted to send this one video to the TV, you're gonna go to the top of the video and tap on this little icon. This is your cast icon. And then you'll see here your different devices. So Attic TV is my Chromecast, Office is my Roku, and then Link with TV is the third option. Now, if you have an Apple TV and you're trying to send a video to your Apple TV, you would use the Link with TV code. And then on your Apple TV, you'd need to go and download the YouTube app and then go to the option that says Link with TV code, and then that will allow you to send it to an Apple TV. In this case, I'm gonna send it to my Chromecast, just tapping on Attic TV. Give it a few seconds and you'll see the screen is gonna begin to change, and then the video will automatically start playing on the TV. Now the cool thing about this option, as I shared earlier, is it will allow that video to play on the TV while you go home and are now able to do other things on your phone. So you can send text messages, you can make phone calls, you can open any other app you want while that video plays on the TV. So that's the best part about this second option. And I assume most of you are watching this video because you want to play a video from one of your video streaming applications. And so hopefully all these different methods are good options for you and you find the one that works best for you. When you're all done, swipe now from the top of the screen. You can control the video from this section here. You can pause it. You can swipe down with 2 fingers, and you can fast forward the video to a different point. or you can tap on the X here to stop the video from playing. And that's it. The first important thing you need to do if you're trying to stretch your battery on your phone is not leave your GPS on. So by simply swiping down from the top of the screen and then swiping down again, you'll find a location button, and you want to turn this off. And the way I do it is I only turn it on if I'm going to use my GPS. If I need to use Google Maps to look up directions, I will turn it on. But other than that, I like to leave it off because the GPS does drain a lot of battery in the background, and some of you might go days or weeks without using your Google Maps, but your battery is constantly draining because your phone is always pinging your location. So I would say turn that off unless you're going to be looking up directions. The second thing you want to be mindful of, and we're going to swipe down from the top again here, is the Wi-Fi. Now guess what? Many of us have Wi-Fi at home, and that's why we have it on. But when you leave the house, just swipe down and turn off your Wi-Fi. Because the way the Wi-Fi adapter works is it's constantly searching for Wi-Fi networks. So why have your phone constantly searching for Wi-Fi networks if you're not at home? I would say when you leave the house, turn it off, and when you come home, just turn it back on. Now you're able to take advantage of Wi-Fi when you're at home, and when you're out, your phone is not using extra battery power trying to find Wi-Fi in places you're not going to use it. Now, if you end up at a Starbucks and you want to use their network, turn it on, use it, and then turn it back off. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is tapping on the recent apps button right here and simply checking at least once or twice a day to see how many apps you have running. Sometimes we have a lot of different apps that we've opened. And one of the things that people don't understand is when you open an app from the home screen, if you tap the home button, that app does not all of a sudden close. The app is still running in the background of the phone. So what you actually need to do is hit the recent apps button, and you have to go to that app, and then you can actually close it up here with just a swipe up like that. You can also tap close all, and this will close all of the apps that are running in the background or programs, and that will also help to drain some or save some of your battery. Now the fourth thing you can do is go to your settings, swipe down from the top, and in the upper right corner, tap on the little settings wheel. And here we're going to swipe up until we get to the battery and device care section. Now in this section, you can do a quick optimization of your phone that will check your battery, your storage, and your memory. And just by tapping this optimize now, it will help to close out anything that's running in the background that might be causing your phone to run slower, or any other issues that the phone finds during the optimization that's going to slow down your phone. And just that fast, it's optimized the phone, and now the phone is going to run smoother and faster because of this. Now, one quick tip is you can always go to the upper right corner, tap on the 3 dots right here, and tap add to home screen. And now if we hit the home button right here, it's going to give us a special widget. I think we have to swipe up here. So it's going to put a shortcut to device care in your app drawer. So from the home screen, just swipe up. You'll now have this device care app shortcut. Hold down on it, and we're going to drag it right to our home screen. So now, if you ever, or at least once a day, I would say, just go ahead and tap this button, and it's going to automatically take you to this device care section so you can do a quick optimization to make sure there's not any apps running or anything in the background of your phone that could be slowing it down. And the very final thing you can do to help improve your battery is using the power saving mode. Now, if you swipe down from the top of the screen here, swipe down again, you will have this little icon that says power saving mode. Now you can tap it to just turn it on, or you can hold down on it for 1 second, and it will take you to the power saving mode like settings, where you can kind of adjust the different things that it will optimize. So the first thing I love about this is by turning this on, it'll automatically show you how much battery life you will get by being in this mode. So if I turn it on right now, my phone's at 58%. It's saying it's gonna get me another day and 8 hours of battery life by the optimizations it's gonna do. So I can turn this on, and now what it's gonna do is it's gonna decrease my computing power a bit, and it's gonna decrease the screen brightness by 10%, and that's gonna help to stretch the battery a lot longer. So that's one of the main things you can do, is just keep your phone in this power saving mode, especially if you don't, you know, play a lot of games or you're not doing a ton with social media. You really won't notice a difference in the speed of your phone when you're in power saving mode. Now, if you are playing games, I wouldn't recommend you use this mode. I would turn it off, play your game, and then turn it back on. And there's one more thing I want to show you as well. Let's turn this off here for a second. Now, let's say you're going to be out for the whole day and you're not going to have access to a charger. Maybe you're going on to an amusement park, or you know, just somewhere where you're not going to have any opportunities to charge your phone. If that is the case, I would tell you to switch on this third option, which here, the third option at the bottom that says limit apps and home screen. This is a more aggressive power saving mode, and you'll notice just by me turning it on, it went from 1 day 8 hours to 3 days 11 hours. And by turning this on, it's gonna vastly change how the phone looks. So it actually turns off my wallpaper. It limits the apps I have access to. You still have access to quite a bit, so you just have to come to the top here, hit edit, and you would hit plus here, and these are all the apps you'll have access to while you're in that aggressive power saving mode. This is also an important thing to know in case of an emergency. You find yourself trapped or in an earthquake or somewhere where you may not have power for days. By turning on this mode, it will again restrict all the power that your phone is normally using so that it can stretch your battery longer, and that's why it's saying it could get you up to 3 days of battery life. So this is a good thing to know about. I wouldn't recommend you guys use this daily. I would say this is more so for an extreme situation. By the way, if you want to turn this off, just hit the 3 buttons in the corner, hit turn off power saving, and it'll take you back to the regular mode. So what I recommend is, let's go back to power saving mode just so you can see what I did there. So again, to get to that really aggressive power saving mode, I just turned on this third option, limit apps and home screen. Normally, I wouldn't recommend you do that. Just make sure these two are checked, and you can use the phone in this power saving mode, and you'll notice there's no change. Everything looks normal. Everything will run just about the same, and you'll notice just a slight decrease in the speed of the phone. So these are just 5 different things you can do to help improve your battery life. This is a great phone. It already has a really decent battery life, but these tweaks are going to allow you to get your phone battery to last even longer. So today we're going to show you how to do a soft reset, and that's if your screen stops working or is not responsive. For example, if you try to touch the screen and maybe it's frozen on a certain app, and no matter what you press, the screen is not responding to your touches, that's when you would want to use this. To do this, you will need to hold down on the volume down and the power button for about 5 to 10 seconds. Now, one disclaimer, when you do hold those 2 buttons, it might trigger taking a picture of the screen. If that happens, don't worry, just continue to hold the power and volume down. Let's try it right now. Volume down and power. I'm just gonna put my fingers there, count to 3 and hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. And now I will take you to this screen, continue to hold the volume down and power, and the phone is gonna turn off just like now, and then let go of the buttons. It should automatically restart itself after a few seconds. You should see the Samsung logo. There we go, just like that. And basically what that'll do is that's, you know, triggering what used to be taking the battery out of the phone. It's literally just shutting the phone off, turning it back on again. And usually whatever caused your phone to freeze, this will fix it. Now, if your phone restarts and the touchscreen still isn't working, then that means you might have a bigger issue, perhaps internal damage to your touchscreen. So if you can't simply, just swipe to get in the phone, then you probably need to have your screen repaired. And I would encourage you to either go through the carrier that you purchased the phone to see if you have insurance, or find a retailer that replaces screens. That's usually the next step if this doesn't work. So the first thing you'll need to do is swipe down from the top of the screen, and you're going to tap on the little settings wheel in the upper right corner. Once we get to settings, we're going to swipe up and go to the accounts and backup section. From here, we're going to go up to manage accounts, and you're going to remove any Google accounts that you see in this section. So I'm just going to tap on this account, tap remove account, remove account. It's going to tell you that by removing the last Google account, it is going to no longer allow you to have security in the phone. So as you can see, that account is now gone. The reason you have to do this step before you reset the phone is if not, when you try to set it up again, it's going to ask for the information for that Google account. Therefore, you have to remove it before you factory reset the phone. Now we're going to hit our back button at the bottom and tap the reset button right here. And then tap on factory data reset. Swipe up. Tap reset again. And you're going to enter your pattern. This is if you had any type of security on the phone, so either a pattern or a number combination, you will need to enter that. And then you're going to hit delete all. And this is going to initiate the factory reset. At this point, you don't need to do anything but let the phone sit, and you'll notice the phone is going to restart itself a few times, and the process you will know is complete because it will take you to a screen that will say welcome, and it'll ask you to select the language. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Make sure you like, favorite, and share if it was helpful. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. Take care, and as always, have a good one.